So I'd like to introduce you to my wife, Taya. She is a therapist. She's a mom. She's social, she's fashionable, and she is constantly bombarded with notifications, important notifications, all day long. Mixed in with those important notifications is everything else going on her phone. Some apps are important, a lot of it is not, but she has no way to distinguish what is important from something else. So a couple of years ago, we had a new babysitter for our 5-year-old son, and he fell and broke his arm. And my wife was in closed-door sessions and could not be reached for hours. And I knew at that point that there had to be a technological way to solve this problem. So I'd like to introduce you to our wearable personal assistants, aptly named Taya. These are not just wearables, okay? Let's get rid of the whole term wearable. This is jewelry. My partner was the lead designer for David Yurman, and we're taking the same approach that we would take to any other jewelry that would be sold in fashion retail today. This is cast in sterling silver. We have a gold vermeil. We've got semi-precious quartz fused with a layer of mother of pearl. In fact, we've got one that has a topaz here. And we've got genuine leather interchangeable bands to accessorize, which I'll talk about more in a few minutes. So the question you're asking, okay, great, it's beautiful. What does it do? Well, the key thing, coming back to what I was trying to reach with my wife, is context. Context is incredibly important. So the first thing we did was put in a very powerful vibration motor, and we tested this for a long time to say, if the notification is more important, it will be stronger. If it's less important, it will be weaker. You do not need to break eye contact to know, is this a notification that's worth going in my bag to get right now? On top of that, we can add color. So you want to assign your boss as red and your babysitter as blue. You can do whatever you want to get context out of color or vibration. But on top of that, as a wearable, we had to add the accelerometer for good measure, to add step tracking. So this will synchronize with a number of different apps on your phone for step tracking, as well as Apple's Health Kit, and do haptic feedback, which I'll talk about in a second. But important, we also have to have a big enough battery to last at least 3 days. So as beautiful as the product is, we need a beautiful app. It's all about the app today, and making it intuitive and sticky. So one thing is you add your contacts, right? Who is most important to you? So you move on from there. What is most important to you? The types of apps and types of notifications you want. Calendar, so you can change the notification so a reminder for your meeting is a little different than the next meeting that's coming up. But the big thing that we're working on is capturing every notification on your phone. So that means you can drill into third-party apps and curate the content and communications that's all over, fragmented across WhatsApp. So you want to pull a person out of WhatsApp. Say, this person is important to me in WhatsApp. This person is important to me in Facebook. This specific alert is important to me out of CNN or the types of alerts. The keep.com alert, you're all going to want to get that directly on your device. So it's all about making it intuitive and easy to use and curated over time. But where are we taking it? So we're as much a software company as we are a hardware company. So as I mentioned, we're going to do a lot more with filtering. We're going to learn more about what you do and who you communicate with and try and help you curate that experience better. But we're also going to add haptics. So you can shake, you can tap, and get a different response. So some of the things that we're talking about is having like a proprietary help message, where you tap on it and it sends it to a certain loved one and say, hey, I need you to come in the room right now, or I need some help. It could also be the doctor calling the nurse, or any kind of, I'm busy right now notification that you want to send back. I mentioned we'll be working with health trackers. A lot more we can do with things in that space. I'm really excited about Beacon. How many of you are aware of Beacon technology? So this is the cookie for the physical world, the digital cookie for the physical world. And the wearable helps track that, helps you communicate directly with the retail experience. And then moving on from that, authentication and IoT. But again, this is not just about wearables. This is about jewelry. We see this as accessorizing just like we would in the traditional fashion world, where this product I'm wearing right here is a little different than these right here. So this is actually diamond encrusted with my partner's signature style that matches beautifully with his collection and is ready to be sold alongside his other collection in retail. So we're taking wearables and consumer electronics, we're applying internet scale software, and we're selling it at jewelry margins. So the big thing here to take away is that we check our phones 150 times a day, and we're reaching that tipping point. It's just too much. And we need to take a step back and say, you know what, if it's important, let's get notified. The rest of the time, leave it face down on the table at least, back in your pocket, put away in the purse, and let's reclaim the moment where we can have a communication just like we normally would and feel comfortable that we're still connected to what matters. Thank you.
What percentage of this will be for men versus women?
We're looking at pretty much the 80-20 rule, where 80% women. Again, the phone in the bag is a big issue. But again, men are very apt to take that phone and slap it on the table face up. So we want to at least let them put it face down.
Okay. So it's a women's product because the phone's in the bag. If the phone could sit in their pocket, they wouldn't need it.
Again, you still need it because you don't want to get interrupted in the middle of the meeting. Again, the phone on the table is the big trend that we're trying to pull out as well.
Hold on, I haven't checked in a while.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. I'm safe. Didn't vibrate. Apple. So they got a device that I think is like going to be 100 times more powerful and diverse and capable. Mm-hmm. Why do I have yours versus theirs?
How many women want the Apple Watch in the audience?
How many women in the how many women in the audience? All women, hands up. Okay, all right. Just want to make sure we had representatives. Okay, and why not? Who wants to volunteer? Which woman wants? Before I pick on somebody, Betty, why won't you wear the Apple Watch? Okay.
I guess I just got a tweet.
So. You have to then go to a device to kind of get the rest of it, right?
Yeah.
So it's a notification. It's a notification to get your device.
It's an accessory for your phone.
Okay. Competition? You've got. I mean, everybody's in wearables now. It's early, so that's good news.
Yeah.
What's the marketplace look like? What is the range that you're competing with?
I mean, certainly Apple is a competitor in this genre because they're positioning wearable tech for the luxury market, and we'll have a brand. Samsung's got a nice, product, the Fit. I do like that product. I mean, again, it's a little, more feminine. And then there's a bunch of, the Kickstarters and Indiegogos of the world produce a new, crowdfunding campaign all the time. We're taking the traditional approach, again, my partner from his Yerman experience, that this should be positioned just like any other fashion retail product.
And how big of an investment do you need to get this thing going? How big does this need to, how much money do you need to get to profitability on something like this?
Not as much as you would think, because again, the electronics cost is not that much. The bulk of the cost is actually software.
What's it going to cost?
So we're selling this online. We're doing pre-orders for $279 for gold and $249 for silver. Retail, we're expecting about $350 for gold and $329 for silver.
Can we get them in time for Christmas?
2015.
If you want to invest, no. Yeah, so not in time for Christmas, no. So.
When did you start this? And everybody kind of builds for Christmas. And I think I met you early on, and I knew you were not going to hit 14.
Yeah.
So that in terms of business modeling, since Christmas is 40% of sales for everybody.
It was one of those things where we knew a few months ago that we wouldn't have it quite right for scale at Christmas, and so if you can't scale for Christmas, you can't sell it to like
I think there'll be another one.
There's another one, right? Exactly.
Fair enough. All right. Good luck.
Thank you.